Hey YouTube, hope we're all having a great day out there today. I just wanted to go over the developer update for July of 2023 and the 7.1 PTB as well. I'm just gonna break everything down super quick, super short, and it will be divided up into timestamps below, so you can pick and choose what you're interested in, and let's get started. All right, we're gonna start this out with the Nicolas Cage section, basically, PTB 7.1. Essentially, he's got a lot of random stuff to his perks, which is really fun, but let me get into that real quick. Okay, so the first perk is Dramaturgy. I believe that's how you pronounce it. So it activates while you're healthy. While running, press the active ability button to run with knees high for half a second, then gain 25% haste for 2 seconds, followed by an unknown effect. So it's going to give you a random effect. One of them being exposed for 12 seconds, another being gain 25% haste for 2 seconds. Third one, scream, but nothing happens, which I guess would be maybe preferable. Gain a random rare item in hand with random add-ons and drop any held items. So that one's kind of interesting too, especially if you, didn't bring an item into the trial. So the same effect cannot happen twice in a row, causes exhaustion for 60, 50, 40 seconds, depending on the tier of the perk you have, and can't be used while exhausted either. All right, so the next one we have here is Scene Partner. Activates while you're in the killer's terror radius. Whenever you look at the killer, scream, then see the killer's aura for 3, 4, or 5 seconds. There's a chance you will scream again. If you do, you will see the killer's aura for an additional 2 seconds. Scene Partner then goes on cooldown for 60 seconds. The last one we have here is Plot Twist. Activates when you are injured. Press the active ability button while crouched and motionless to silently enter the dying state. When using Plot Twist to enter the dying state, you leave no blood pools, make no noise, and you can fully recover from the dying state, which is pretty interesting. When you recover by yourself using Plot Twist, you are fully healed instantly, and you gain 50% haste for 2, 3, or 4 seconds. This perk will deactivate if you recover by yourself by any means, and the perk reactivates when the exit gates are powered. So our friend Nicolas, he's got some really interesting perks. I'm excited to sort of see how these play out and where they take the game as well. And I think you'll be able to make some really fun builds out of these. All right, so now let's jump into some general changes that are coming to the game. First up, we have Survivor Disconnect bots. So essentially, if you have a teammate that disconnects from the match early and you're left hanging, a bot will fill in and play out the rest of the match. Which I think is pretty good, and it'll be a nice change of pace, especially given how killer side of the game gets when you're down a teammate. So the next feature they're implementing is the successful report feedback. Essentially, if you ever come across a player in Dead by Daylight that is not complying with the rules, essentially you can report them, and what this now does is there will be a message that shows you the date of the player ban and the reason for banning. So it gives players a little bit more recognition and kind of a, letting you know, hey, person you reported ended up getting banned and whatnot. So nice little quality of life feature. All right, so now we'll jump on into the Onryo and the kind of killer section here. Essentially, the changes that they're making is projecting to a TV now applies a 3/4 stack of condemned to all survivors not carrying a cursed tape, was 1 stack to nearby survivors. Additionally, the time to a TV is disabled after the Onryo projects to it has been reduced to 70 seconds, and this was 100 seconds, and can also be further reduced with add-ons. The time a TV is disabled after a survivor removes the cursed tape has been increased to 90 seconds, and this was 60 seconds. And lastly, projection now has a 15-second cooldown. Additionally, we're going to see some changes to the cursed tapes. Firstly, getting hit with a basic attack while carrying a cursed tape will apply 1 stack of condemned. When a survivor carrying a cursed tape is hooked, all other survivors gain 1 stack of condemned, and the tape is destroyed. Holding a cursed tape no longer passively builds condemned, and cursed tapes can now be placed in any TV other than the one they were retrieved from. And they're also making some changes to demanifestation. The Onryo can no longer be stunned while demanifested. Chases are prevented when demanifested, making it more difficult to keep track of the Onryo's position. And lastly, demanifesting now removes bloodlust, similar to other killer powers. And then really quickly, they just made some add-on changes, kind of balance it out, but nothing too significant. All right, so next up, we have hook grabs. These are being removed from the game. Essentially what this was, if you were a survivor running towards a hook, going to unhook another survivor, and the killer was standing there, the killer could interrupt your unhook animation and grab you, immediately putting you up under the shoulder and having you ready to either drop or go put onto another hook. That will no longer be the case. Killers can no longer grab you, interrupting and unhook, essentially. They can still hit you, do that kind of a dealio, but grabs are removed from unhooks. Additionally, the brand new part is getting reworked. Now, when a brand new part is installed, you will face a difficult skill check. Upon succeeding this skill check, the generator's required charges are reduced by 10 and the add-on is consumed. So just some changes to brand new part there as well, and I think they'll be healthy for the game. All right, so now we're jumping on into the killer perk section. We'll just rattle these off really quick and get through all the changes. First off, we have Coup de Grace. Essentially, all that's changing with this is now you will gain 2 tokens whenever a generator is powered, and this used to be 1. Next up, we have Claustrophobia. All that's happening with this perk is that they are removing the previous 32-meter range restriction. So pretty simple change. Up next, we have Hangman's Trick. Hangman's Trick is actually becoming a Scourge Hook, which is pretty interesting. This perk now reveals the auras of survivors within 8, 9, or 10 meters of a Scourge Hook whenever a survivor is being carried. After that, we have Territorial Imperative. Essentially, what they did is they increased the duration of the aura reveal to 4, 5, or 6 seconds. This used to be 3. We've also lowered the distance the killer must be from the basement entrance to 24 meters. This was previously 32. To give survivors an opportunity to sneak in for a rescue, we've increased the cooldown of Territorial Imperative to 45 seconds. All right, after this, we have Remember Me. Each time your session loses a health state, you'll gain a token. Each token increases the opening time of the exit gates by 6 seconds up to a maximum of 24 seconds. This used to be 4 seconds per token for a maximum of 16 seconds. So pretty good little buff to this one. So next up, we have Hex Crowd Control. They're basically just increasing the duration of the entity blockage caused by this perk to a maximum of 60 seconds. It used to be 14, so sizable buff on this one. Last but not least, we have Trail of Torment. This will now only deactivate when the affected generator stopped regressing, not when a health state is lost. All right, let's jump on into the survivor perk changes. There's quite a few of them, so let's jump in. First up, we have Prove Thyself. They are reducing the repair speed bonus to 6, 8, or 10% for nearby survivor. Was 15%. We've also removed the blood point bonus for co-op repairs, so a little nerf there to Prove Thyself. Next up, we have Blast Mine. They've increased the duration of Blast Mine to 120 seconds. This used to be 45 at a maximum. So yeah, a little buff there. Next up, we have Wiretap. They've increased the duration of Wiretap to 120 seconds. This used to be 80. We've also normalized the activation requirements and text description between Blast Mine and Wiretap, meaning Wiretap will now activate after 50% worth of the generator repairs, and this used to be 33. All right, next in line, we have Saboteur. We've reduced the time it takes to sabotage a hook without a toolbox to 2.3 seconds. This was 2.5. We've also adjusted the cooldown for the perk to 70, 65, 60 seconds. This used to be 90, 75, 60. So tier 1 and 2 versions of the perk can be used more frequently. After that, we've got some Clairvoyance action. Clairvoyance will now activate upon blessing a totem in addition to cleansing. So a nice little change there. After that, we've got Breakout. Breakout now increases the wiggle speed of the carried survivor by 25%. This was 20. However, to make this more risky, Breakout now activates within a 5-meter range instead of 6. So nothing too crazy, but a little bit of a difference there for sure. After that, we've got Buckle Up. Upon healing a survivor from the dying state, both you and the healed survivor gain the endurance status effect for 6, 8, or 10 seconds. After that, we've got some changes to Smash Hit. So they've reduced the duration of the exhaustion effect to 20 seconds. This used to be 40, just to make this perk a little bit of a faster cooldown, if you will. Last but not least, on the survivor side of things, we have Spine Chill. Now that the visual terror radius is available, we are removing the terror radius visualization aspect of this perk. So pretty basic change there. So for our next section, we've got some killer tweaks. First up on the list is the Executioner. They have a built-in mechanic to prevent the Executioner from camping. Normally, if the Executioner is within 5 meters of a cage, it'll disappear, go somewhere else on the map. They are increasing that to 10 meters just to kind of help that camping a little bit. Up next, we have the Spirit. Looks like they have a number of add-on changes that they're looking to do. So firstly, we have the Mother-Daughter Ring. They've reduced the movement speed bonus to 25%, and this used to be 40. After that, we've got the dried cherry blossom. All they've done essentially is just reduce the killer instinct range to 3 meters, and it used to be 4. Next up, we've got some changes to the 2 amulets and the talisman as well. Essentially, these add-ons are no longer going to cause Yamaoka's haunting to recharge faster. The respective duration increases remain unchanged. After that, we've got the origami crane. The origami crane now increases the recovery rate of her haunting by 20%. This used to be 10. And then lastly, we have the rusty flute. This is now just going to increase the recovery rate of Yamaoka's haunting by 40%, and this was 25 previously. So they're also making some adjustments to Hag. Firstly, the waterlogged shoe. They have increased the movement speed boost to 7.5%. This was previously 4.5%, so a nice little buff there to that. After that, we have the mint rag. All they've done is reduce the teleport cooldown to 10 seconds. Lastly, they've made some changes to the half eggshell and the cracked turtle egg. The half eggshell now increases trap duration by 45%, was 30, and the cracked turtle egg now increases trap duration by 55%, and that was 35%. All right, and then last on our list here, we have the Coldwind farm balance update. Essentially, all they're going to be doing is balancing Fractured Cowshed and Rancid as well. So we'll just see some changes to these maps. I'm betting just a lot of changes to tiles, layout of the maps as well. So some basic stuff that'll just kind of help the matches play out a bit more evenly on both sides. But yeah, that about wraps everything up for our developer update. I would love to hear your thoughts, comments, feelings, all that stuff below. But nonetheless, thanks so much for being here. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we will catch you in the next one. Thanks so much.